Changed the format, didn't he? Changed the team. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh yes, it's that time again. Welcome to REDARMY.TV. An absolute assembled throng in the studio. On the wing is James Lees from Middlesbrough Media and a big Borough fan. He's been on before. Yeah. Good friend of the show. Welcome, mate.
Thanks very much. I've been referred to as a winger before.
Well, there you go. I was talking about rugby, but there you are. And also, talk about the Mayor of Middlesbrough himself, Dave Budd. But you're a big Borough fan, aren't you, Dave? Season card holder.
It's gone on for a long time. Yes.
How long? Come on.
I'm in my 6th decade now.
Does your wife know?
She comes with me.
Oh, excellent. We do like that. Well, thanks for taking your time out to come and join us on the Red Sofa, now made famous by Anthony Vickers. He calls it Red Sofa TV, but there you go, Red City TV. Just before, we do have the Mayor, we do have James, but we also have Ben Gibson. He's a flavour of what he's going to be talking about a bit later in the show.
To have that recognised is brilliant for me personally, and you know we have such a good squad, such a competitive squad, that it's a real pat on the back, so more encouragement to do exactly what you have been.
So we'll start with Watford then. More on Gibbo a bit later on. Watford fellas, another draw. But James, we'll start with you. Was it a point gained or was it 2 lost?
Based on the performance, I think a point was a fair result, because I think the first half definitely we controlled the game. Very unlucky scores. Tushwani marginally offside, but on the way they attacked us in the second half, I was very happy to come out with that with a point. It would have been nice to be a score draw, just to kind of put a few of the boo boys asleep in regards to scoring goals, but no, happy with the result, and I took it beforehand.
Were you happy enough with the point, Dave?
Well, I think it was interesting having a slightly different shape as well. Something tried.
What were we, 5-3-2?
Well, you could say that.
That's what Sky said.
Or 3-5-2, yeah.
Yeah.
Brian Robson style.
Maybe one in the first half, one in the second half, yeah. And from reports, having 2 almost together up front made a bit of difference to them both. It seems Stuani had a much better game. But I've been to Watford on a couple of occasions and I've never seen us get anywhere near a point at all. So yeah. I was okay with that.
Yeah. It was interesting to see 2 up front. Everybody's saying, does he have a plan B? Looked like Ado had a plan C on this one. Were you pleased to see him tinkering?
I was pleased to see him tinkering. Again, just to put people's mind at rest, that he does think of other things apart from playing with 1 up front. And I think to an extent it worked, because Stuani gets a lot of criticism, and he has on all season saying he's not the answer. What's the question, first of all? But he's not a winger, but he's a centre forward. He was signed as a centre forward, and he looked a lot more comfortable. And he looked a lot more comfortable when he's going inside against Sheffield Wednesday as well. And that's his position. That's where he plays. It was good to see him there. And he looked dangerous.
Gusted got a feel for the action in the Premier League. Should we touch on that stat? We'll come back to that one. But nice to see new signing finally gets his chance to pull on the boots.
Yeah, I think we've got used to some new signings never appearing for some time or ever on one or 2 occasions. Get him on. I suspect he's there for when Negredo can't play, but it's good to have an alternative at last.
Absolutely. 32 consecutive games that he's played in the Premier League and his team hasn't won. I mean, there are lies, damned lies and statistics, I think was the famous phrase. Is it one of those that you just, hey, look, just don't read anything into it?
I didn't realise that stat until after the game on Saturday, and it's one of those head scratches, but it's nothing to do with Rudy Gusted. It was very harsh to say that it's all because of him he hasn't won them games, but some people are just they've got these stats on them and he just needs to win a game, bless him. Even if we're winning 3-0, put him on with a minute to go, just so he's got that stat gone.
I don't know whether the Mayor can say no, it's because Villa were crap, but I think James is right, isn't it? It shouldn't be a millstone that's hung around his neck, the poor lad.
But I think only Borough supporters could search through stats and find one like that. I mean, it is amazing though, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it's fantastic. Let's have a look at a couple of your tweets then, what you thought about it. Craig Hatton, very hard fought point at Watford. Borough battled really hard, not too much threat in their goal, but 100% effort, that's for sure. So positive one there from the boy Hatton. The boy Hunton, Alan Hunton, very lucky today, should have been well beaten by an attacking team. Move on, I guess, but no pace at all. Little bit of a neg on the end there, but yeah. I suppose it is a sign of the Borough that you can get be put under the sort of pressure as we did in the second half, and that defence that was so strong in the Championship is showing now that it's strong enough in the Premier League as well.
But a big, hard team, Watford. You know, lots of teams found them very difficult to play against.
Very true.
And we saw it in the home game, didn't we? Not great football, not great footballers, but big and hard, and that's difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's nice that we stand up to teams like that now.
What are your thoughts on the fans? There's been some huge reaction from the Watford fans. Graham Taylor, obviously very sad news coming into that game with the loss of Graham Taylor. But the Watford fans have been singing the Borough fans' praises about how we showed our respects towards Taylor during the game. You know, what are your thoughts on that?
I think as a club, our fans they do have a lot of class when it comes to situations like this. I think it's mainly due to the area. We're a working class area, and everyone can resonate with things that happen, such as that. And the thing with Graham Taylor, we done it Everton early in the season as well. We're a club that does that, and we appreciate people doing things back to us. But it's good to see that we do make the right headlines as a club as well. Because sometimes there's some unsavoury ones, but no, it's good to see.
Here's some of the messages. Barney Burns: can't explain how I felt when the Borough fans started chanting. There's only one Graham Taylor. I had a tear in my eye. Graham Smith, these are all Watford fans, by the way. Graham Smith: I'm a Watford supporter. I was sat next to your fans today. I'm so grateful for their respect for Graham Taylor. Thank you. And Kieran Hogan: respect to the Borough fans today for the class they showed at the match, singing There's Only One Graham Taylor. And they sang it on their own as well. It wasn't just when the Watford fans were singing it. Dave, I promised never to get political with you sitting in the chair. But,
Didn't take long.
I know. But you are the mayor of Middlesbrough, and you're hearing this. Yeah, we know Borough fans come from Stockton and Redcar and all over the shop, but obviously the club is tied to the town. How much pride do you have in there because of what we're doing?
I mean, that's something. It feels very simple. It feels that quite a lot of clubs might have done that, but I'm proud of how we do things like that. I mean, I'm proud of our reactions to what happened at SSI and the way that the supporters.
I didn't want to get that
understood and got that.
Yeah.
No, but it's about respect for people. It's about respect for the place as well. And we do that well because it's real. You can't invent that.
Yeah, very true.
And it's right across the board, isn't it? It's not just even Teesside. It's Borough fans in general seem to show that respect. So well done, fellas. Real pat on the back, and ladies, of course. Don't want to get sexist on this show, so big thumbs up on that one. Valdez, interestingly, that game at Watford threw another stat up which was quite pleasant reading. I don't know who does this sort of research, and I don't know who can look back at all the games and count the last 22 shots on target against goalkeepers, every single goalkeeper in the Premier League. But that's what some sad individual has done. But the stats bear out that Victor Valdez is the most successful shot stopper currently in the Premier League. Out of the 22 shots at him, only 3 got past him, Dave. He's on some decent form, isn't he?
He is. I think we had some reservations when we first saw him because he looked a bit iffy. But then, when you think, he didn't know the team, he didn't know the defence. But the people in front of him do a really incredible job, don't they? And that helps enormously. So some of those shots were a bit scrambled and so on. But yeah, he's stopping things. He's looking, I think, probably better every week.
Yeah, he's looking like, to me he is. You can completely disagree with me, James.
Yeah.
You're at liberty to do so. But he's looking like the Victor Valdez I remember playing in goal for Barcelona.
Well, I thought he was from day one, to be fair. I thought he got
No,
very,
he wasn't.
Very,
He's so start.
I mentioned I was on last time. I think he's been very unfairly criticised, Victor Valdez. He's an absolute class act. He's the best shot stopper I've seen at this club, probably since Stephen Pears. He is brilliant as a shot stopper. Okay, a little bit suspect with crossing the box sometimes, but when that hasn't been your game, it hasn't been your game. One of the best keepers in the world at the moment, David De Gea. Look how suspect he was when he first went to United. Now look at him. It's you've got to adapt, and he's adapted very quickly, I think.
Well, let's wrap up the Watford tale with our very own Joe Nicholson. Here's his take on the match.
For me, Borough's goalless draw away at Watford was overall a very decent point. However, our lack of firepower up front was once again a major concern. Aitor Karanka switched to a 5-3-2 formation for the first time this season, and in the early stages it appeared to suit the players that we had on the pitch. George Friend and Fabio both did a really good job of getting forward in the wing-back positions. Christian Stuani was able to join Alvaro Negredo up front and give the Spaniard a bit of support, and it freed up Stuani as well in that up front position. However, Borough still didn't create too many chances, didn't have too many shots for the Watford goalkeeper Aurelio Gomez to save, and in the second half they began to drop off, and it appeared like Borough were happy just to settle for a point. Watford were the better side in the second half and could easily have won it Tom cleverly hit the post late on. A couple of great saves as well from Victor Valdez, most notably when Troy Deeney went through one-on-one, but Valdez managed to save, and Borough escaped with a point. They'll have to show a lot more going forward in the next 2 games, and you feel they have to get at least 1 win on the board in the next 2 games at home to West Ham and West Brom.
So that's Joe's take. What about yours, Mark? Camera extraordinaire has been out for the fan rants.
Negative, boring, 500 miles to watch a dire match. That's all I've got to say.
Another boring draw. We cried out for Traore, didn't happen. Attack, it's just not happening. I'd never criticised Karanka, and I probably never will, but today was the time that almost got criticised.
For continuous emotional day, a draw, I could probably just take it. Very solid in defence as usual. Attack, it was a nice formation 3-5-2, but no attacking threat at all.
Decent game. Karanka hasn't got a clue how to put players on. He brings one player on and the other team's fetching more support on, fresh legs on. He wasn't bothered about it.
So moving on then from Watford, I suppose again you have to be living on Mars or Venus or probably Pluto by now if you hadn't realised it was transfer madness time. The good news for the Borough, of course, Patrick Bamford has put pen to paper. What is it, 4.5-year deal?
4.5-year deal, yeah.
A bit of a love fest between you and the Bamf, isn't it?
I wouldn't say between, it's all one way, I'm afraid. There's no reciprocation from Patrick, but yeah, I absolutely adore the bloke. I'm remembering the first time here, and when sometimes you see a player that just fits a system and a club perfectly. I think that was Patrick Bamford the season he was there. Nobody scored anywhere near the amount of goals he did for us under Karanka. He was superb, absolutely superb, and I think he can do it again. I know that people say no, he hasn't proven in the Premier League, but now they've Gaston Ramirez, so he can do it. 100% believe he can do it now. I think he will.
I believe you, mate. I believe you. You've sold it to me.
I sold it for you.
And as just by proof, we have written evidence as well. Here is James Lee's tweet from earlier in the day. My days, I'm so happy to see this. Welcome back at Patrick_Bamford. So you're even sending him personal messages. Well,
I'm trying. And again, it's all one word for it, Dave.
Yeah, okay, mate. Dave, he did well for us in the Championship.
He really did.
He then stepped up into the Premier League, and he's had spells with the likes of Norwich, Palace. Where was his last one? Burnley.
Yeah.
Sat on the bench an awful lot. You obviously remember him pulling his boots on for the Borough. How do you think? As a signing?
I mean, maybe he's one of those players that just fits a particular club. Hopefully, because he's really done nothing for quite some time now, which is a bit of a concern. But given the support he's obviously going to get,
yeah, you've got to be careful. You're sharing a couch with him.
Watch yourself, Dave.
So no, let's hope he's as successful as he was last time.
Well, I think we all hope he will be a success because we're all Borough fans at the end of the day. But
will he be?
Yeah. I suppose there'll be nobody happier than me and probably yourself as well if he does come up with another 19 goals in a Premier League season.
And we would be happy if the transfer fee was one amount. If it was another amount, we'd think maybe not. Yeah. But we don't know what it is anyway.
No, we don't. I suppose only Mr. Gibson and co know that. Bojan. Let's move on to Bojan. I mean, this is a weird one because obviously Aitor's come out and said publicly, he's a player I greatly admire, and basically said, it sounds like he's saying, look, I'm really interested. Bojan himself, not getting his game for Stoke, is coming out with very cryptic stuff. I mean, he's put out a tweet. He put out a tweet yesterday. I can't give you the Spanish version because I don't speak Spanish, apart from Dos Cerveza Grande, por favor, which is 2 big beers, please. But basically what he's trying to say is, because I've thrown it past a lad who I know from Barcelona, and he said, look, it's the lyrics of a song, but what he's implying is, I'll have no regrets to leave, come and get me, is what the sort of reading into it from Spain was. Would you like him?
Would I like him? I think he's something we're definitely missing. We've got, with the people who play behind the striker, I know Negredo gets a lot of stick, but he gets no service. We've only got Ramirez really who can thread that ball through or take somebody on and cross it on the end of Negredo's toe. Bojan can do all of that. And also chipping with a few goals himself and being an actual threat in front of goal. So of course I love him. He'd be fantastic at the club, and Crank has worked with him before.
Would you like to see Negredo up front, Bojan just behind and slipping in those balls for him to run onto?
I think, I mean, the problem is, apart from Ramirez, nobody's doing anything very different. It's a little bit predictable.
Yeah.
And if we had 2 or 3 behind the single striker, it wouldn't look like a single striker anymore. It would be much more inventive. And we've seen clips from Bojan playing for Stoke that he can do some incredible things.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he does them for, but on Match of the Day highlights, he looks wonderful. But we don't know who he was singing that song in Spanish too, do we, really?
No, we don't.
I think this is the trouble.
Yeah. He did more than tweet, didn't he? He tweeted a video of him singing a song, but we don't understand it because it's in Spanish. Yeah. Apologies. What was it? I used to be able to say I'm sorry in Spanish because I made so many mistakes, but there you go. I can't even remember now. Does it mean Rhodes is on his way out? Because we're signing all these and we're interested in even more attacking players?
Well, it's just come up on Twitter there. Apparently we rejected a £10 million bid for him. I think he would be on his way. I mean, I don't think he's a Karanka type of player. It'd be a perfect foil to put off in a grade, and obviously he's proved it already in Rudiger's stead. But I think, we will sell him. I think we'll want at least the money we paid for him because he got us promoted in the day. You know, people say, no, he hasn't had a chance. He was signed for one reason, to get us promoted, and it's worked. There's no room for sentiment in football. You can see with Nugent and Suey and the like scoring already in Adoma early in the season. So, I think we will sell him, but let's get a decent fee for the lad because he's worth it.
I think one of the difficulties with Rhodes, Nugent played very well, very good, very popular, understandably, and rightly so, and Suey as well, I think.
Yeah.
You know, he proved that he's a great all-round footballer. Rhodes, we still don't know, because we haven't seen him often enough, I don't think.
Well, not this season we haven't, no.
Yeah. Well, one player who also has been linked with going out is Danny Ayala. It hasn't happened yet. He was at the Middlesbrough Disabled Supporters Association with a smile on his face with the rest of the team last night, which was great to see. Previous winner, of course, he was last year's Player of the Year. And on that subject, we've got a YouTube message. See, we can tweet, we can post, we can DM, we even have YouTube messages. How in are we?
Very modern.
It's from Tom Smith saying, don't sell Ayala, Chambers goes back in the summer and we'll be unlikely to be able to buy him. You're then only one injury away from a defensive crisis, so a little bit of feedback there. Sensible, actually, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, if Chambers goes back, we've got Dale Fry, the young Player of the Year. We've got Dale Fry in the camp as well, who's been brought back from Rotherham, but not a lot of cover there in central defence.
Yeah. It's one of them. I think the whole thing with Ayala, I think will be dependent on if we sign Subotic, which the rumour mill's going back on for that one. Obviously, he was due to come to Borough in the summer, injury. Means he failed his medical, but if we sign him, I think maybe Ayala will go. But again, you need cover, and he's more than able to do that.
Yeah, especially if you're going to play 3 at the back more often. We might end up playing 4 or 5.
It'd be nice to have 3 central defenders if you're going to be in that position, wouldn't it, rather than fit somebody in. Fellas, I got myself into a bit of bother during the week. It wasn't with the police, so don't worry, you don't have to watch Crime Stoppers. I got a bit fed up of fans really taking pieces out of each other. So I went onto Facebook and I just said, look, enough's enough. We can all disagree, whether it's Karanka, whether it's Valdez, doesn't matter. If we disagree, we disagree. We can debate it, we can have a go at each other, we can pull each other's leg, but it's getting nasty. It's been getting nasty, and that's what my post was all about, and it has caught fire to a certain extent. So something like 13,000 views or something just in 24 hours. Are you seeing this, James? Are you seeing the fans jump on top of each other, intimidation, threats, abuse?
Massively, yeah. I tend to do the majority of my debating on Twitter when it comes to Borough, because Facebook, it's a lot worse. It's not very nice. There's some very unsavoury scenes on there. On Twitter, it's still there's a lot of nastiness that goes on, but not as bad as Facebook. Facebook, we're getting really personal with people. When I do a comment, they go on a profile picture and then comment on the family and things like that. It's horrible to see, absolutely horrible. It's gone too far. Everyone has their opinions on football. It's one of the beauties of the game. Not everyone's right. But if someone's got a different opinion, just listen to it and give your argument, but don't get personal.
Dave, is there any need for this?
No, but I'm afraid Facebook in particular is heading in that direction, not just about football, but many other things as well. For some reason, people feel that they're able to say anything to anybody about anything, and they wouldn't come in here and say it. They wouldn't.
They probably wouldn't say it to your face in the pub either, would they?
No, that's right. But I mean, it doesn't feel like it's got into the way the crowd reacts to the manager or the players. It hasn't got that far, has it?
No, it's not. No.
Especially perhaps at away matches, the support is pretty unified.
And it is where I'm sitting. I'm in the south stand, and you don't hear a boo. You never hear a boo in the match. But I tell you what, they'll go back on Facebook on the night and they'll say something.
Yeah, the old keyboard warriors. Yeah. Well, that was interesting to get your thoughts on that one. If I've offended you, I don't care. No, I apologise, but I just had to have my say. Right, time to catch up with the Borough news in and around REDARMY.TV. Here's Chris' story.
We start this week with news that the Mayor of Watford has been forced to apologise to Borough fans after wrongly slagging off the Red Army at the weekend. Shortly after kick-off, Dorothy Thornhill tweeted, "No bloody respect from Borough. I hope if positions were reversed, we would behave more kindly." But after fans from both sides, as well as media representatives, responded, criticising her comments, the town leader admitted she had misheard and misunderstood the Borough fans' support of Graham Taylor. Now, Aitor Karanka has confirmed Borough have rejected 2 offers for striker Jordan Rhodes. Speaking at his press conference ahead of this weekend's West Ham match, the Borough boss confirmed he's willing to sell the former Blackburn Rovers man during the current transfer window, but the offers he's turned down were not big enough. It's understood Aston Villa were one of the 2 clubs trying to sign the Borough man. Reports have suggested an offer of high as £10 million was made, though this has not been confirmed. On the same note, Karanka revealed his views that new signing Patrick Bamford is not the sort of striker to play a lone role up front, but play as either on the wing or with another forward. Acknowledging his lack of success at recent loan clubs, the Borough boss said he has to build Bamford's confidence and then make him a better player. The former Chelsea striker scored 19 goals for Borough in the Championship and has signed a 4.5-year, £6 million deal. Borough's midfielder Martin Darun is quickly building himself a reputation of being a bit of a nice man and a fan's favourite. On the back of his taxi ride home with supporters after the West Ham game, the 25-year-old Dutchman has now surprised a young fan by knocking on his door at home and giving him his match shirt. 10-year-old Henry Baines wrote to Darun as part of a school writing project, telling him he was his idol. The Borough star then stunned the youngster by appearing on his doorstep and spending an hour at his home chatting. As you can see, the visit seemed to have worked. Young Henry refused to take off the shirt, even at bedtime.
Thanks for that, Chris. As we're doing every week now, of course, Fly Me to the Moon threads. Robert Nichol and the team keep sending us what's hot on the Fly Me message board. This week, the top 5 have been, what tune should the Borough run out to? Pig bag. Most underrated Borough player of all time, and the discussion seems to have been Robbie Mustoe. We all remember Robbie Mustoe, don't we, fellas? Yeah. Is Patrick Bamford what we need? Is he right for now?
Yes.
Interesting one. Of course. Love fest. Would you be happy with Bojan and Delafeu? Would you be happy with the pair of them?
I'd be. That would be an immense signing, double sign that. To be fair, it would be perfect for us.
It would sound quite nice.
Yeah, it sounds okay, but whether they would ever both play at the same time doesn't matter.
True. And of course, Graham Taylor was mentioned because of us playing Watford just a week ago, and basically saying the shock news, and Borough fans paying their respects. So we've already done that. So Fly Me to the Moon message board if you want to get on there and contribute. Right, Middlesbrough Disabled Supporters Association. It was their due last night as we come into the studio, fellas. I've already mentioned Dale Fry, Young Player of the Year, and also Ben Gibson was the Player of the Year on the back of Danny Ayala last year. Let's have a listen to George Friend, because Dale couldn't be there, far too young, tucked up in bed. This is George Friend's reaction on Dale winning the award.
What do awards like this mean for the young players as they're coming through in the early stages of their career?
Yeah, well, like you said before, there's some fantastic names that have won this before, and Dale is definitely up to that standard, and he's proved it when he's had to play, and he's never looked out of place with the first team.
And is it good for a lad so young to get a pat on the back from the supporters like this?
Yeah, of course. You asked me where I was at 19. I was nowhere near playing at the standard where Dale is, and he's a really down-to-earth lad, and he'll be sorry he can't be here.
You're 6'1". What's your height then, George? Because you're looking pretty tall to me, mate. How tall are you?
Well, I thought I was 6'1", so Dale's definitely taller than that. But yeah, he's very sorry he can't be here, and I'm sure he would want to thank you all for your support, because he loves this club and he appreciates every one of you.
Well, we love you too, mate. So thank you very much for doing that on behalf of Dale. Cheers, George. Thank you very much.
So that was George's thanks on behalf of Dale Fry. Congratulations, Dale, on that one. And the Player of the Year, of course, was the big fella at the back, one of our own. It was Ben Gibson.
Congratulations, Ben. Cracking season.
That means a lot, a hell of a lot. You know, you make sacrifices all year round and work as hard as you can. So to have that recognised is brilliant for me personally. And you know, we have such a good squad, such a competitive squad that it's a real pat on the back. So more encouragement to do exactly what you have been.
Is that what's going to be key this season in the Premier League, to survive that togetherness?
Yeah, it's essential. That's what got us up, and that's what will keep us up. So we've always had a strong bond. We've got good characters. We've got a very good team spirit, and that's something that you need to be a successful team. It's something that has been unique about being here. Everyone who's came here from other squads has always said about how close everybody is, and as I say, that's something we've got to maintain to make sure that we're strong on the pitch.
And what about your own performances on the field? How happy are you with them?
Yeah, I'm happy. You know, I've played a lot of football, been really happy. So, you know, I just need to maintain that, make sure that I keep playing, make sure I stay in the team. You know, as I say, that there's a lot of competition for places, so it's important that, you know, we keep going. But it's not about individuals; it's about the team, and you know, we've always been very good.
And I know every game's important, but a massive couple of home games coming up, which is an ideal opportunity to get a few points, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we can't look past West Ham. It's a massive test. It'll be one that we're excited for. We're looking forward to. We're looking forward to the game, and as we said, it's a great opportunity to get 3 points at home, and the one we're excited for.
Fellas, interesting comments from Ben Gibson there, saying it's all about team spirit and togetherness, which is going to get us through this first Premier League season. But as an individual, I know he doesn't like talking individual. How good a past 12 months has he had?
He's just got better and better every week. Some people thought, will he make it in the Premier League? Yeah. Of course he has. Yeah. And he will be around for a long, long time here. I think
the fact that people are talking about £30 million transfers to Chelsea and all that is an indication of how well he's done in the Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah, and to be honest, when you look at someone like John Stones, who looks like a badger on stilts at times, going for £50 million, Ben Gibson, £30 million is laughable. It should be twice the price what they pay for John Stones. Because this season in particular, I know he's only played 6 months of Premier League, he's looked absolute leaps and bounds above any other English centre-half, in my opinion, this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And we would like to thank Middlesbrough Football Club for letting us in with the camera. And also Paddy and the team, well done on a great night. The AMC was a bit ropey, by the way. I just thought I'd point that one out. So thanks to the Middlesbrough Disabled Supporters Association. It's their biggest fundraising evening of the year. So it gets our disabled supporters to games and all that sort of stuff. So cracking cause on that one. Fellas, just before we finish then, West Ham, not the not so small matter of the first of two, pretty crucial home games. Dave, do you fancy it?
We need a win and a draw, at least, out of them. I think we'll get that. West Ham perhaps be more open than playing West Brom, or a bit difficult to break down. So yeah, I'm quite hopeful.
James?
West Ham got they've got a point to prove with the whole Dimitri Payet saga that's going on at the moment, and I think they answered that quite well at the weekend. I think we should beat them. I think we're a better team than them. When we went away, I thought we were a better team than them at their place. I'm fairly confident we'll win.
They've come on a little bit since the performances they were putting in at that time.
Oh, they have, yeah, of course you have, but so have we.
And I think Andy Carroll's had his one good game of the season.
Yeah, well, that's it.
I wish he hadn't said that now.
Yeah, we'll come back and remind you of that one, Dave. Yeah, we wouldn't want the ex-mag to come up and bite us on the bum, would we? Predictions. What's your prediction for that one?
I think we should win by 2 goals.
Really?
I really do think we'll win by 2 goals.
You think we'll take it to them?
I think we'll take it to them, yeah. I think the players are going to be well up for this one, I really do. I think it's going to be a question for Ramirez is playing, definitely. But yeah, I think we've got a point to prove, and I think we'll beat them.
Yeah, Dave, what's come on, prediction time?
1-0.
1-0?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who scores?
Absolutely.
It's all about the 3 points. And I always think, I've had a couple of, the sad thing about this is we all do our predictions. I'll do a prediction at the end of the programme, but I never put any money on it. And they're coming true. So I'm going for 1-0. I'm agreeing with you, Mr. Mayor. So we'll go for a Borough victory. Come on, 2 home games, 6 points would be fantastic. Right, fellas, that's it. Thank you for your time. Thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. Hope to see the pair of you here again before the end of the season, and we can talk about how we've secured our position in the Premier League by that time.
Enjoy that.
And thanks to you too. Come on, Borough. Fingers crossed. 6 points out the next 2 games. Please.
Saturday. Come on, lads, believe. Come on.